Let's make some ketchup together. I came across a recipe to make ketchup that only involves some tomato paste and a few other ingredients. So I bought the tomato paste. It required 12 cans of tomato paste, which ran me roughly about $12. Um, and I think the most time consuming thing about the recipe, honestly, was opening up the cans and this will sound silly, but getting the paste out of the cans and into the pot. That was the most time consuming thing. So I have a question. If ketchup is so easy to make and it doesn't take much time, then why do we spend so much money? I think the last time I bought ketchup, it was like $5 and maybe 99 cents for a 32 ounce. And this ran me $12 to make an entire pot. And it involved 72 ounces of tomato paste. So, why did we get into the habit of buying everything and not making anything? It's a real question, and I challenge you to think about it, maybe try to answer it for yourself. Um, I don't think that we are lazy. I think that we have just been conditioned into convenience. But honestly, a lot of the things that we use daily, that the kids like, are within reach, and a lot of the stuff is already in our homes to make it. There's just some thoughts around it because now I've never had 12 cans of tomato paste in the house at one time, but there is tomato paste in the house, so I can make a smaller version of this. There is vinegar in the house. There is water in the house. There is, sugars in the house. And these are the only things required to make ketchup. So it's a real question. I just want you to take a moment to think about it. Most people don't know this about me, but I've always enjoyed being in the kitchen. I've always liked to cook. I come from a long line of cooks. And in fact, I always worked in restaurant service in the earlier years of my adult life until I graduated from college. So being in the kitchen is just second nature for me. In fact, we used to cater. You probably don't know this about me either, but at one time I actually had my own soup company where I made homemade soups. I've always enjoyed being in the kitchen. I think that the kitchen is a place where people gather. So if you're in the kitchen and you're creating something, the kids tend to come in and talk to you. Somebody is going to come in and say something, ask you a question. I need help with this. What do you think about that? The kitchen is a gathering place. It's a place of connection, of community. So it's one of the things that I just love about being in the kitchen. So when I think about not having been in the kitchen for the last couple of years because life had been lifing, and then now stepping back into the kitchen and being able to make things that we use every day, that the kids are asking for every day. Can you pick up some more ketchup? I hear that all the time. And I'm like, I'm going to make this ketchup and they're going to like it. And that's just going to be the end of that. That's just me. The other thought process that I have around making things at home is when I look at the ingredients or hear about the ingredients that are in basic things that we use at home that are in the grocery store, it's flabbergasting because I can't pronounce a lot of the things that are in the ketchup or the bread or whatever the case may be. And I find that to be a little scary now. So I think that, our ancestors were already making this stuff at home, and it's a cycle, right? They were already making this stuff, and then somebody came up with the idea to manufacture it, to make it big bulk and make it convenient. Now you can spend more time with your kids or, whatever, instead of being in the kitchen all the time. What's so wrong with being in the kitchen? The kids are even in the kitchen with you. So there's this cycle happening where they made it very convenient. You don't have to make ketchup anymore. And as time goes on, it becomes a little less whole foodish and becomes way more unhealthy, for lack of a better word, right? It's really becoming unhealthy to even consume the things that they are putting in our foods. And our government does not care enough about us to say no more of that. So I just want to put that on your mind and put that in your head, because we will swear that we don't have time for this. But again, I'm telling you, it took roughly about 15 minutes to make this, and then to let it simmer on the stove for about 20 minutes. I don't think that's too much of your time. You could do that while you're making something else. You got something in the oven, then just begin a pot of ketchup while you're at it. And then all you have to do at that point is put it in storage containers and seal them. And I think maybe that's the part that scares people, because they say, well, I don't know how to seal. I don't know how to do water baths. Well, life is very convenient in 2025 and beyond, because now you don't have to do water baths. Now they actually are selling things that'll seal the mason jars for you. And I have one. I can do both. I know how to do the water bath, and I also have a sealer that'll do it for me. So I think we're basically running out of excuses. That's all I'm saying. If you just think about it, we are running out of excuses. Why are we consuming this unhealthy stuff when we know that it's unhealthy? We know that it's not good for us. It's much better to make it at home. So let's just make it at home. Another reason that I just know that y'all know better than this is because when I mentioned that I was making ketchup to no less than 3 of my friends, probably about 4, you know what each of them said? They asked me, are you making Canadian ketchup or American ketchup? I said, what? The first time I heard it, I said, what do you mean? What's the difference? They said out of their mouths, well, Canadian ketchup only has like 5 or 6 ingredients. American ketchup got about 12, 15 ingredients. Y'all know this. So if we know this, why are we okay with this? Why are we okay with this? So, this is about ketchup, but it's also about so many other things. This is, I'm a personal trainer. I'm really into wellness, fitness, health, and nutrition. This is an integral part of what I do regularly. And I'm just now really opening my eyes and my mind to what this means for the fitness journey. Right? So I'm looking at this ketchup and I'm like, look at all these ingredients. And this is the American ketchup. I can't pronounce some of that. And why is all of that in there? It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm just challenging you today to rethink what you're doing in the kitchen. Spend a moment saying, you know what, let me at least give this a try. If I don't like it, I don't like it. But let me at least give it a try. What you might find is you actually don't mind being in the kitchen making certain things at home. I don't think you have to make everything. But the things that you can control, I think you should control, especially if you have children. But damn the children, if it's for yourself. Control what you can control. And that's all I'm saying. So I made ketchup. I think you can make ketchup. I think we all can make ketchup. I think that we can stop buying things that are not good for us and show the government that we are not going to tolerate this anymore. Those are just my thoughts. That's just how I feel. And I want better for all of us. You should give it a try.